All right, let's take you back now to one of our top stories, the British referendum. And for more on the vote, we cross to our correspondent in London, Dan Whitehead. Dan, good to talk to you. This is the most crucial referendum seen in at least a generation. What's the mood like in Britain today? And talk us through some of the big topics.
There is an air of anticipation and excitement. Around 9.5 hours left at the polling stations for some 46 million British people who are eligible to vote and decide whether or not the UK is going to stay in or leave the EU referendum. To summarise those big points you asked me about, there's two really key areas here which the campaigning has really been focused on over the last months, and that firstly is immigration. The Vote Leave campaign argue that the UK simply has to get out of the EU if it has any way of controlling immigration, the number of people coming into the UK from Europe to come and work and start their lives. And they say the only way we can really control that is if we exit. The other big argument, of course, is the economy, and the Remain campaign say that to stay in will create a stronger and a safer economy and that the UK will simply be better off because it will have access to the single market. Those really have been the two major areas for both sides of this campaign. But as I say, voting is underway now. The Prime Minister David Cameron has cast his vote this morning in the UK. He, of course, is fighting for the UK to stay inside Europe. Nigel Farage, the head of the United Kingdom Independence Party, who really his whole political life has been based on getting the UK out of the EU, he's also cast his vote. There have been some problems for the voters, though, already. In true British fashion, it comes down to the weather. A number of polling stations have been forced to close. They've been flooded. We're expecting a month's rain in just a couple of hours this afternoon here in London, and that is causing transport problems. It's causing problems getting inside polling booths. Many people have been told to go to alternative polling locations, but they will do that and they will be able to cast their vote in this huge decision for the UK.
All right, Dan, what did the final polls show with regards to how tight this race actually is?
Well, the polls, of course, have been on an absolute knife edge over the last few weeks. There was a Comres poll which came out last night which did put the Remain campaign 8 points ahead. But there is margins of error to take place, and this is really going to come down to the undecided voters. And some polls have shown up to 14% of the British public simply do not know how they are going to vote, where they're going to put that cross in the box when they head into the voting booths. And that is why we saw such rampant campaigning in those final few hours, appeals from senior politicians for people to get out, because every vote really does count in this referendum, and it could be the undecideds who sway which way this goes. Results-wise, the counts will start after the polls close at 10 o'clock. We should start to get the first few election results from local centres at around 1 or 2 in the morning. I think by 5, 6 in the morning, that's 7 o'clock in the morning in South Africa, we're going to have a really good indication of just which way this is going to go.
All right, Dan, we are expectant to see what the outcome will be. Our correspondent in London, Dan Whitehead, thank you very much.